Hi everyone, I'm Sushi Roll from 210sdown.com and we are back in Hanover, New Hampshire. About 4 days ago, I was rescued off the mountain by the Forest Service and the Forest Rescue Service, and they took me down the mountain in a truck, and then, well, I walked part of it, then I went in a truck, and then I went in an ambulance. Roar came with me and was amazing and packed up all the stuff. But the reason I had to go down the mountain was because I didn't know this at the time, but I had a very severe migraine with a lot of side effects. So I started having symptoms at the top of a steep climb. So we're at the peak of the mountain and I'm feeling really dizzy, and I mean, it was just kind of the beginning of, I knew something really wasn't really right. So we kept walking to get to camp, and by the time we got there, I couldn't feel my arm or my fingertips, and I tried to get my pack off, but I couldn't get the pack off. My fingers were just too numb, and I had to have Roar help me get my pack off because my fingers wouldn't work. So after that, this is when the other symptoms started coming in. So pretty much after that, my lips went numb, and I started losing my speech. Like, I wouldn't make sense of any words, and Roar had no idea what I was talking about. And I was coherent enough to know what I was talking about, but I couldn't get the words out of my mouth. It was like I didn't have the English language anymore. It was coming out as mumbles. So, and then after that, I had these spinners, these like bright, colorful spinners in my eyes, like a kaleidoscope, and mostly in this eye, and then also a little bit in that eye, and I'm thinking like I'm having a stroke or something. Like, it was pretty bad, and a lot of the symptoms pointed to that too. So this is when it all kind of started spinning out of control. So at a certain point, when I couldn't communicate at all, Roar thought it would be best to call my mom, and she talked to my mom, and luckily my aunt was there, who was an ER nurse, and she was able to talk me through a few things, and just give me some advice for what I need to be doing at this point to get myself well again. And so I did all the things she said, which is eat lots of salty and sweet foods and drink lots of water. And so
Why did she say that? What did she think it was?
She thought it was low blood sugar and low fluids, which I'm sure all of that had something to do with it. At that point, Roar knew that because I couldn't speak at all and I was so weak and I just wanted to go to sleep and I wouldn't really eat that much, that she needed to call the Forest Rescue. And we had a couple of other hikers there with us who were amazing and were really, really helpful, because it was kind of a lot of weight to lay on Roar's shoulders at that point, because I wasn't really capable of doing anything. Anyway, then the Forest Rescue came pretty fast up the mountain to come and get me, and walked me halfway down the mountain or something.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe a mile.
Yeah, it was
maybe
like
less than a mile.
It was about a mile. They helped support me while I was walking down, and I was able to walk myself by that point. But then they got me into this truck, drove us both down the mountain, and then we got to an ambulance, and then we took the ambulance to the hospital. And from there, I had a bunch of tests done, CAT scan and blood pressure, EKG, like a bunch of other stuff. They gave me fluids and a whole bunch of stuff. And then finally I got my results from the neurologist, and she said that I had a very severe migraine, which I said, what do you mean? Like, I've never heard of any of those symptoms for a migraine, other than the spinny kaleidoscope things. And other than that, I was shocked. Like, the numbing in my arm and the loss of all my speech and stuff like that, I've never heard of that for a migraine. But luckily, they were able to give me some sort of an answer. So once they gave me my results, they released me from the hospital at about 4 a.m., which was a tough time to try and find a motel. So they let us stay in the child's waiting room, and we got to sleep there for the rest of the night. And then we got out and came to this motel. It's the Sunset Sunset Motor Inn, and it's in West Lebanon. They've been really great to us, so I would recommend that one. So we're here on our 4th zero. We were supposed to get out of here like 2 days ago, but I got pretty horrible food poisoning from a place in town, and Roar also got sick off of that. I just got the worst part of that food poisoning, and I was up all night long throwing up. So that was lovely, and we had to stay here for even longer, which is not the worst town to stay in, but you know, I think we're both ready to get moving now. Anyway, I just wanted to give you guys the update, and you know, that's kind of why I haven't been posting anything, but this is the update. I wanted to post it somewhere on YouTube, but you can't do anything but videos, so sorry for not letting anyone know sooner, and thanks. Okay, I would like to say a few thank yous. First of all, to my mom and Auntie Judy for talking me through, you know, what was going on with me and trying to figure out what was up, and being there for me when, you know, I really needed to talk to family and stuff. Of course, thank you to Roar. I could thank her like 100 times. She did a lot for me in that time. She set up camp and then took down camp. I mean, that's a lot of work for one person.
You're welcome. I kind of love you.
Yeah, well, you should.
Okay.
Anyway, I also wanted to thank Wolf Dog, Mona, and Fresh. I apologize about the name butchering, but I wasn't in much of a way meeting them at that time. I was very not with it. I was very not with it. Anyway, can you tell us what they did?
So they helped call 911 and get the forest rescue, everything, when I was sitting with Sushi Roll and, you know, talking her through it and stuff. And then when the forest rescue came, they helped me quickly tear down camp and stuff everything that we have in our backpacks within like 5 minutes. They were wonderful and very supportive, and they even said that they would take our stuff to the town tomorrow, the next day, you know, if we needed it. So
yeah,
thanks guys.
That was amazing, and I am so sorry for not being with it. And
you don't have to be sorry.
Yeah, well, I still feel bad because they were doing so much for me. Everyone was, really. I would like to say a few more thank yous. First to the Lyme firefighters and paramedics, and also to the Dartmouth hospital staff with the doctors and nurses and everything. Everyone was really amazing with me, and I just feel really lucky to have been in this town and have been on that mountain, so that it was easy enough to get me down, and so that there were other people to help out. So just a real big thank you to everyone.